Hey friends, right out here, and today we're going to be working on this, I forget what it was, 1983, it'll be in the title, AMI Rowe, I forget what this one's called. Anyhow, so it works and everything, we're just got to kind of clean it up a little bit. So we're going to start on the bottom here because these wheels are impossible. And then maybe we'll clean up the rails a little so they're not so gross, and we got to vacuum it. It's not bad. Lunchbox cleaned it when we got it. Cleaned the bottom before we took it out of the truck. So got some mud gobber stuff here. Just give it a good once over. And we got to replace the power cord. See, someone hacked the ground plug out of it, and I think we bent it moving it, but and then we'll clean behind all these panels so it looks good. Clean off all the crap. Give it a good once over and see how far we get today. And then we can start using it again, or using it, period. So, peek behind the curtain. Some that just came in. So just triple thicked them. Which the can, usually I get 2.5 glasses per can, and this one I got 2 coats and 3 coats on that one and like a half coat on that one before it ran out, which is frustrating. Anyway, all right, let's get on this. We're gonna take the wheels off, clean them up, tighten them up, oil them a little bit. Hopefully they won't be so damn hard to move around. And we're gonna see if we got any of these screws here, because this one's got 2 screws. That one has all of them, which really doesn't make any sense. First thing I'm gonna do is go over there and turn that damn fan on, because even though they're outside the garage, it's giving me a headache. So let's do that. All right, so we got this off. You can see all the crap in there. It's gross. Anyway, yeah, I vacuumed out this hole, and I didn't think it went to anything. But after I vacuumed out all the crap, you can see the amplifier. So that's probably why the previous one died. So this one I've done. Put a little oil, cleaned it up. And you can see it's great. This one. So we'll clean that one up too. And we gotta do the bottom too. So let's keep rolling. All right, so this bottom trim here, all these holes on this one were stripped out, every single one, and I'm pretty sure that side is as well. So I used the old bamboo shoot or skewer with glue, redneck trick here, and filled the holes back in. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put the screws back in, and it should be good to go. It's because this is particle board. It's a little dry rotted down here because it looks like it was sitting where someone got a mop on it all the time. That side must have been up against the wall and someone must have hit this with a mop. This is pretty rusty. I got all the chunks off, but if I'm being honest, I'm way too lazy to try and grind that or whatever. Maybe I'll do it when I get a sandblaster and it's not such a pain in the ass, but let's put this back on here. It worked with varying results. Most of them are tight, some of them are loose, but once the glue dries, it should hold it. The ones in this plywood are definitely much better than the ones in the fiberboard here. So, and I did have to replace 5 of the 7 screws on that side and probably 1 on that side. Fortunately, I did have passable substitutes. All right. Let's just say it moves pretty easy now. Before you had to put your butt into it. But we got the front panel off, and I cleaned this side. Well, vacuumed a little bit and kind of cleaned it up versus this mess. So, fortunately, these are all cracked. But I think I'm gonna take this all apart because there's that mud gobber crap in here, so we gotta get that out to clean it. The light worked, I think, it looks like it's burnt out, but hell, I don't know. That's easy enough to replace later. It does have all these splices in it, which is a little unsettling, but I guess. All right, well, let's rip it apart, see what else we run into. All right, we got this completely tore down. There's parts right there, and over there. As you can see, that is pretty dirty. Fortunately, these little doinks in there are like rivets, which are holding the screen on. So I can't really get that apart without breaking it. So we're gonna do the best we can, but you can see, now that I got all that stuff off, how dirty all this stuff is. So we're gonna clean this as best we can. Put it back together. Theoretically, put it back together. We'll see, there's a lot of pieces. The parts that are broken here, I'm not 100% sure what to do with them. I don't have any hard, it's like really hard plastic. I don't have anything like that. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Although it's not really hard to get back to it if I decide I want to take this off again. It's just the 4 bolts after you pull it out. So we may put it back together and think about that one. I don't know. All right, so I'm putting it back together. We got it all back together. And one of these just kind of disintegrated. So obviously that won't stand. We're gonna have to do something. Probably get soldering iron out, solder them together, put some shrink wrap on it. Because these things are quick but hokey. Anyway, cleaned up pretty good, I think. And I fixed this. It was most definitely on there wrong from whoever rebuilt it previously. So let's fix this. All right, we fixed that. So now I'm gonna take the speakers out, clean out them holes in there while that rotted crap. Maybe test the speakers while I've got it apart. I don't know. Well, kind of lost the light here, but I took all the speakers out, well, those 2 speakers out, vacuumed all the dry, rotted crap out of it. Probably need to get more of that foam to put in there. If I recall correctly, the foam is in there so that the box can be smaller. Because that's just a giant ported subwoofer box. If you're interested, that one was the resistance across the terminals was 22 ohms and 22.3 or 4, I don't know, something like that. And it looks good. There's some like inductors and capacitors on there. I assume that's for the speakers, so it doesn't, the lights don't dim when it bumps. I guess I don't know. I don't have the schematics, so I'm not exactly sure what they're for, but I assume that's usually what they do on like car speakers. So, got that. Now we gotta start up here. This ain't too bad, actually. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I might clean it a little bit. And that looks a little nasty. I guess it's not too bad. It doesn't have any, looks like it's got oil on it, but I don't know. So we cinched it down to move it. So I'm gonna have to loosen that back up when we start loading stuff. And then we're gonna replace the power cord, clean out the amp box here. It's nasty. We're gonna test to make sure it's actually putting out the correct power so it doesn't burn my damn house down. She said she got a new amp for it, but that capacitor says 8436. So unless they got a new one and like it was a quote-unquote new old one, maybe she was thinking of something else. I don't know. Let's figure out where the power cord comes in. I think that's it, right? No, it's up higher. Hell, I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow when I can see what I'm doing. All right. Okay, people. It's the next day, obviously, since it's bright outside. So we cleaned the outside of this pretty good. I mean, it's almost as old as I am, so it's a little beat up. But so, I mean, this, you can see it kind of looks dirty, but it's not. It's like warped from, it's a little dusty from the rag I was using, but it's got nicks and swells from water damage, I think, which is what this is. You can see right here, it's got a pretty good, like something was dripping on it, I think, or something at some point, but it's got all this mess. So even just the process of, you know, running a vacuum over it, it peeled off about twice as much crap. And then when I wiped it down, still more came off. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit this with some probably 320 or so grit sandpaper, get all the loose pieces off and edges, and then we're gonna hit it with some gloss here to kind of seal it up. I have this left over from another project a couple of years ago, so unfortunately I don't have anything except dumpster diving stuff, so we're just gonna tape a couple cardboards over this because honestly it's not that big of a deal if it gets on the back, but just to seal that and keep it from getting worse. And then we're gonna start on the front, but I wanted to give that time to dry in case we get it done today, but we'll see. All right, well, maybe someday when I'm not so lazy I'll actually paint this, but hopefully getting it smooth and then spraying it with polyurethane, which should dry. It's not supposed to be glossy like that. It should dry flat like the back here. We'll keep it from getting worse. But as you can see, just hitting it with that light, rubbing down the sandpaper, God, terrible. But anyway, it's in the back, so you probably won't see it very much, but hopefully it'll stop the flaking. I'm gonna give it some time, and then we'll start on the inside. Well, let's start the front first. Engineering for when your witching stick is made for short people. So I got this out. I took that one out, cleaned in there. It had a lot of dirt and dust and webs and stuff in there, as did this other one. This one's a little harder to get to up in there. To take quite a few things apart. But like half of these damn things are like this. I'm gonna get some electrical tape, I think, and tape over a lot of them. Well, I should be replacing them. Also, they've got this wire here. Which I assume was supposed to be here. So I don't know what the hell that's about, but we're gonna take that out and see if we can make it work like it's supposed to. Also, this light right here doesn't have a light starter in it. But it looks like they've spliced it into this one, so I guess I didn't notice if it was working or not, so if not, we'll have to put one in here. Oh, that doesn't actually look like it's hooked into anything. Oh no, it is. Actually, without that in there, that may not even start. We shall see, I guess. All right, once we get that together, we're gonna take the speakers off, clean them, clean the grills, make sure the speakers are still good, and then we'll clean this mess, and then we should be good. I vacuumed out in here pretty good. I'm not gonna mess with the mechanism, because honestly, it works and it's relatively clean. And I'm not that smart, but we are gonna get into there and mess with that stuff. I don't know that the dollar bill holder thing's gonna work because they took the main mechanism, obviously, so it's on free play, so we're not even gonna mess with that. I vacuumed a little bit. Need to vacuum up in there. So, getting close. Well, we got all the top here cleaned up. I didn't actually take this apart because it's kind of a pain in the ass and it's not too bad. And if we come over here, I cleaned this up as best as I could, but it's like tarnished, or not tarnished, like starting to rust. So the only way to really fix that would be to take it off, sandblast it, and repaint it, I think, or rechrome it. Some of these buttons are stained, like, and this is supposed to be black, but it's missing. I mean, this is paint splatter. At some point someone was painting it, so to get that off of there would be quite the ordeal. This is, I mean, what are you gonna do with that? Someone stabbed it and scratched the hell out of it. But, I mean, it's clean. I cleaned all these. These were, let's just say, not silver. That one came pretty clean. This one's a little more tarnished. But it looks good. You can see the paint splecks everywhere. I gotta clean the front when I lay it down. So, got that out. I need to wipe that down before I put it back in there. I need to wipe all this down, vacuum it again. So what I'm gonna do now is pull some of this out of here. Probably pull this amp out of here. Let's see, that goes to there. I gotta work this out here. See what it does, then we're gonna test some of our stuff to make sure that we got the right power coming out of there. If there's anywhere that says what it's supposed to be, because I don't have a damn manual. And when I tried to order a manual, it wouldn't sell it to me because it said that the link that it sent me was like already used, so they're only open on the weekdays. Anyway, so we're gonna get this out of here, clean all this crap out, reassemble it. I take some pictures this time so I don't forget where everything goes. Okay, we got it stripped. Hopefully we can get it back together. So this plug right here goes up to the bilge thing, which was not plugged in. It was up under here because this was not screwed down. So yeah, that could have been causing all kinds of fun things down under there. So we're gonna have to find some screws and put this back. These that hold the main power supply were stripped out. That one was barely holding on. This came off just fine. I mean, it's just supposed to hang there. I'm not exactly sure what all these do. This goes to this, to the mechanism here. The wires right here look like they go to the probably stepper or whatever that runs that. You got various other things that run the lights. This distributes your power out of your main power block. This runs your secondary distribution, whatever. This runs your lights and your power switches. Then there's some various other things that run the various subsystems. So we do have to replace this cord here. Some dickhead cut the ground plug and just cut it off. They like ripped it out. And these are from the regulators here from '83. I don't have any and they work, so we'll see. Other than that, it looks pretty good. The amplifier here, 84. She told me she had a new amplifier, so I'm suspecting it's a new to me amplifier. So here we go. I have to look back at the pictures and see what went where. What all this stuff does. Speakers. Mute button. I don't know what the hell that's. So we'll go through. There's fuses on all this stuff. I want to make sure they're all correct before I put it back in there. These filters are a little toasty, but they're not like bubbled up or anything on the top, so we'll see how it sounds. If it sounds bad, we may need to replace those. They have kits and stuff you can get. All right, let's keep working. We got this apart here. These are both supposed to be 5 amp fuses, and they both say 5 amps, but not 100% sure what that 502 is. Might be a slow blow. I don't know. You see, all these things got pretty hot at one point in their lives. It'll take 10 seconds. Rip through them and see if everything still tests good. Well, people, we got a setback. I don't know if you can see it, but the lights, it's plugged in. All the lights are on. I took my multimeter here. There's 28 volts DC, 8 volts DC, and 28 volts AC coming off of here. The 8 volts is like 8.1. And both the AC and DC 28 volts are about 29.1. So it's good enough, just because of the wall line voltage has changed over the years. But anyway, this cord goes in here and it goes through like, the one side goes through 3 of them damn crimp things. It goes on to, you know, here, and then that, and then it goes into the main transformer, and then the other side goes into this breaker and then goes around. So let's just say I'm going to do the redneck cheater thing and put a new end on it versus trying to rip all this out. But it's working, it's all good, at least with no load on it. So we'll put this back together and we'll get a new cord next time we go to the store. All right, turn it off and unplug it before I shock myself. Oh, and I did finally get the manual. It does say those are both supposed to be slow blow 5 amp fuses, which I think the one was, but the other one was not. But if it's not blowing it, then I think that would be okay. It's just more protection, I guess. A note to self: there is one outlet back there behind the CNC machine and one outlet over there, and there may be one back behind that mess, I don't know. But the point is, when you're doing your garage, put some more goddamn outlets in here, because it's really inconvenient to have to keep throwing this extension cord back and forth. I mean, I could plug it in up there, but I'm not that smart. All right, we've got everything back in here, all assembled. It's plugged in and on, or in the service position right now. This light is on. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely dead. This light is dead. This light works when I put a new condenser starter thing in it, kind of. So we definitely need new lights and another starter. When I turned it to service, the stuff started rotating, the arm came down, and that tried to move, so I turned it off. Unfortunately, you know, copyright nonsense, I can't really play anything. But, I don't know, we'll see how it sounds. If I do anything else with it, we'll revisit. But, for now, it's about done. We're gonna go to Walmart sooner or later and get another end for that cord. So, let me know what you think. Not too bad. Well, I don't know. Yeah, supposedly it works. If it doesn't work, we'll get back to you. She had it playing at the house, but I don't know. I'm sure we messed up something moving it, so yeah, we have one of these for the glory of the Empire. R-87 from 1983. Serial number, if you're interested. Although, you know, it says 390 watts, but these lights are 30 each, and then that one is like 15, so I may tear them out and put LEDs in there. They're probably a little better than these old halogen ones. We'll see. Anyway, keep it real. See you next time.